This week on Coffin Fodder, get ready to be slowly, painfully consumed by a gelatinous mass of amoebas, space, bacteria, parasite. Anyway, we're talking about the Blob.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
I like to dissect girls.
This is God.
We have such sights to show you.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I see dead red.
Even in hell. Oh, yes. Oh, no tears, please.
They're here.
Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to episode 32 of Coffin Fodder. I am your host, Mike Orby, and joining me as usual is a man destined to be absorbed by a piece of sentient bacteria, Mr. Brady Silcher.
Hello.
And our second guest, of course, a dude who rides his motorcycle through the sewers with reckless abandon, Mr. Travis Mushanski.
Hey guys.
The professional horror writer, Travis Mushanski.
I wish I wore my mullet today.
And this week we are talking the 1988 The Blob remake. And it's a surprisingly violent time.
Oh man, this movie's just playing on bonkers. I haven't watched it in years, and the only thing I remembered was how gory and violent it was.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this movie. This is a Canada only thing again, which I'm sure you guys can probably relate to. But I saw this movie for the first time as a kid on the Space Channel. It was one of those movies that would just pop up on the Space Channel once in a while, or on Scream TV, if you guys remember those channels.
Yeah, I'm old enough. I do. I just don't remember these being on it.
Oh yeah, that's where I found a lot of that. That's a lot of where I got my horror bug when I was younger. Is the just the random crap that was on the TV back in the day before streaming services.
I think in old days.
Yeah. So The Blob, 1988. So this is a movie about, a blob. Surprise. It's a movie about a blob. But yeah, an asteroid crashes from outer space. There's a piece of bacteria on it that, we'll get more into that later. But anyway, there's an alien, what seems to be an alien organism, crash lands on Earth with an asteroid, and then it turns into this blob creature that gets bigger with every single person it kills. Yeah, so we're starting off with Paul and Meg. That was their first, right? We meet them first?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Yeah, so Paul and Meg, I thought Paul was going to be the main character, and he gets fucking just off so quick.
I wrote down his name to make notes, and then I crossed it off almost immediately.
Almost always the character you meet first is your main character, usually.
Yeah.
So it's very surprising. They kind of pull a psycho and just kill him a third. But we start with Paul and Meg at the football game, and then we go to Brian. And Brian is kind of the stereotypical badass of this small town. Yeah.
Bad quotation. Very much badass. Is trying his best to be the bad boy.
Smoking cigarettes, riding motorbikes, the coolest.
And falling off bridges when he tries to do something sweet. First time he tries to do something sweet with his one can of beer in the woods. And then that was so funny when he throws the can and there's just a random homeless guy collecting cans in the woods. I'm like, why would this guy be out there collecting cans?
So I think one would say,
Do a lot of people just drink in these woods or what?
no, it's just Brian. Yeah, Brian's the only one hanging out there.
That's so weird.
The homeless man's making his money from Brian.
The homeless guy is so weird, man. He's like such a bizarre, I don't know. So I don't know for sure if this was intentional or not. It's hard to tell. But I was getting like really cheesy acting choice vibes from these people. You guys think that was like deliberate?
I think it was deliberate, yeah.
To kind of think,
if you look at the original, like it's also the same, like the 50s campiness, and I think they were trying to get that same campy feeling with a more modern take.
Have you guys watched Twin Peaks? Yep. By chance?
I've seen a bit of it.
And then I've seen all of it, but that's what the vibe of this movie reminded me of a lot. It was like this sort of like really over dramatic, really sort of cheesy performances, and Twin Peaks is this end up with like old soap operas, a lot of what that show is, right? So that was where it kept around, especially, I don't know if you met the James character in Twin Peaks. He's the leather jacket badass guy. He's like He's so corny, man. And this guy reminds me a lot of him.
Well, even when he was in the cafe later on, and instead of just sitting on a chair, he like lifts his leg over the chair and then it sits down.
It's so...
Do you hear? Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of attribute that to like that 80s camp kind of like the whole movie has.
Yeah.
Which is also weird because the whole movie seems to want to be set in the 50s in a weird way.
That's what... Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if it's meant to be set in the 50s, like the original.
Because like you start off this stereotypical football game and it almost sets up this love interest.
Yeah.
And then it almost turns into like a morality play with the creepiest preacher ever to...
So yeah, we've met Brian, Paul, and Meg. Those are our... I mean, I was going to say our three main characters, but, you know, R.I.P.
They're set up to be our three.
R.I.P. Paul pretty quick here. But yeah, the inciting incident, like the probably the first important thing. We get some stage setting with like the characters and how they relate to each other and blah, blah, blah. But their mother all is going to die anyway, mostly. So probably the natural place to start from would be in the woods when the asteroid crashes. You know?
Yeah.
And the homeless guy is the first victim. He gets... And Brian, right? Brian Flagg. Brian Flagg is the one who... The sort of badass guy. He's the one who finds him, and then they end up going to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's like the first major thing that happens. And then he gets blobbed.
The homeless man, yeah, they kind of ignore him for a little bit. The doctor's dealing with other things. I think I made a note saying this is the worst hospital ever. They're just completely ignoring their patients.
Yes.
And,
Particularly the one with like a mysterious substance on it.
a weird substance that's caustic. They know it's acidic.
Yeah.
And they just kind of abandon him.
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
It made me laugh when they get to the hospital with the homeless man, which I don't think they say a name because homeless man.
Yeah.
But they're in there and the nurse is like just looking through files. She's not actually doing anything. I'll be 1 second. This guy's dying over here. Does he have insurance?
Yeah. First question. How do you know you're setting America up?
Yep.
We don't care about the patient. We care about the money.
Yeah. And man, this movie takes such a turn when you get to that part. It's like your wake up point. Like if you started that movie and fell asleep and you woke up during like one of the kills, you'd be like, well, what the holy shit, what movie is this? Yeah, because like you get like 20 to 30 minutes of kind of schlocky, corny 80s cheese.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like, holy fuck, these kills are brutal, man.
Well, yeah, basically the only thing keeping the homeless man together was that blanket he was under.
Merciless. Like this is a nasty movie. Like they even get the kid later.
That scene made me laugh.
Like that's one of those things we've talked about a few times on the show. It's always super surprising when a horror movie goes there and kills the kid.
Generally, kids are usually either the protagonist or they're
the safe kid.
The safe character.
They're almost always safe.
Yeah.
They're going to be put in peril, but they're not usually going to die. Not
Yeah.
usually. But in this case, that kid really fucking dies.
Unless you're a zombie baby from Brain Dead.
Yes.
So we skipped over like when Paul's going to pick up Meg. Him and his buddy go to the drugstore and he's buying condoms from Meg's father, which he doesn't know that's his father, her father. Yeah. And he gets ribbed. And then later on, when he's meeting Meg's dad, he just yells, "Ribbed!" I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
It's the again, that reminded me of a Twin Peaks gag, like the guy in the pharmacy being like, I'm buying these for a friend. It reminded me of Bobby and Mike on that show, the sort of typical high school bullies and or cool guys who get the girls or whatever. So yeah, now so the blob is starting to expand. It gets the homeless guy first, and then it's Paul's the next
2 minutes later. Yeah. Meg goes into the room and then to see Paul, and
it's only the roof falls on him.
Yeah, Paul's trying to phone the police.
And I think when a lot of people think of this film, they know the clip of his face getting like devoured from the blob.
Yeah, the blob gets some real kills in this movie, man. It's actually I kept getting vibes of The Thing.
I was thinking that too.
Because it's a lot of like messed up body horror with like this, what seems to be an alien. We later find out as a piece of like sentient bacteria of basically.
Yeah, gone mutated, yeah.
Yeah.
But space AIDS.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah, space AIDS, exactly.
And that's the thing with this movie. It's just like, it's not just killing people, it's like melting them. And there's a lot of instances where you see people inside the slime, they're groaning, screaming, and they're just totally effed. Like, they can't get away, they can't do nothing. All they could do is scream and...
Did you guys notice that it doesn't eat inorganic material? It only eats organic material? Like, it can't dissolve, like, buildings or...
That didn't really occur to me, but that makes sense. Like, now that you mention it, yeah, it doesn't melt through the door. It's not like a xenomorph or like anything. Yeah. It doesn't melt through the door or through the sewer cover when it's pushing through. It it goes through the holes or forces it. That's a good point.
Yeah,
actually, now
like,
you mentioned it.
I didn't notice that on the first viewing when I seen it, but like after I was like, holy shit, because it's electric almost. Like it's connecting to the electricity we give off or something.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if I even noticed this the first time I saw it when I was quite a lot younger when I watched this as a kid, but it grows with, like, it basically gets bigger with each person it eats, and by the time it's the monster blob at the end, it's because it's consumed so many people at that point that now it's like the size of like 100 people kind of thing.
Yeah, and every time it grows, it just needs to get more people just to keep growing. Just a non-stop eating machine.
That leads to the police are getting involved at this point, and then we get the diner kills, right? Is that the next like main thing?
Yeah, I think her name's Jill or Jillian.
Yeah, they set up as like there's a love interest there. Like they're gonna go on a date after work, and and oh boy, they do not make it on that date.
No, I'm afraid they only got one date.
Yeah.
It was very short.
The sink was clogged and he tried to fix it and he became part of the sink.
Yeah.
Which that was such a cool fucking scene where it just like keeps pulling him down.
Man, that is a good kill. Yeah. Him getting pulled into the drain.
Yeah. Just be smushed and crimped and bones cracking, the pipes are cracking just to accommodate his broken body.
Sounds almost like it's almost like a ready kill, that one.
And you know what? It's a bummer that Kyle's not here because I think this is a Kyle movie.
No, it's a very Kyle movie.
I think Kyle would have had a really good time with it. I imagine he did when he watched it, but he's not here. The next thing I remember is the scene with the guy in the car with that girl.
Oh man, which tell you about that scene is amazing.
Man, so the Blob, like, this is one of those movies that I think is so fun because almost every character the Blob kills is either annoying or a bad person.
Yeah.
Which is what you want from a horror movie. It's just be happy every single time somebody gets killed.
Well, and that's how the movie starts, but then at the halfway point, it just doesn't care anymore. It's like, oh, you're moving away from me and I can eat you, I'm going to eat you.
Yeah. Yeah, once it gets to the theater and after that, it starts just getting everybody. But yeah, this guy is, my daughter was watching it for a bit with me and she goes, isn't that S.A.? And I was like, yep. Yeah, it pretty much is. I mean, luckily he's, he's not feeling her up. He's feeling up the monster that has taken up residence in her body.
The monster did a good deed. He didn't quite get to...
Yeah, so she doesn't
trouble.
Yeah, so she doesn't have to get assaulted by this man. It's the Blob who's being assaulted, and then the Blob doing the assaulting back.
Her poor death. I mean, she was, I think, already dead before he even started trying to touch her. But as soon as it grabbed her and just like sucked her frame inside of her own body, and it's just unreal.
It is, yeah. The effects in this are very, very cool. I didn't think to look who did the effects.
But I looked it up, but I totally forget. But the one thing I do remember, though, is they couldn't pre-plan any of it. Almost everything they shot in this movie was set or shot on that day. They just figured it out on that day.
So are they creating they must be creating a real chemical reaction of some kind. Because then how are they...
My understanding was it was a bunch of cellulose in eggs and just random stuff just to create the creature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it looks super real and it's all practical effects. There's no CG in this movie.
No, there's a little bit of stop motion.
I was gonna say towards the end you can see a little bit of stop motion and it's a little janky at the end, but like it's when the blob's so big that you can't really fit it on screen properly.
The effect I noticed a lot that they were doing, which a lot of old horror movies do, is like where action is happening in front of a screen.
Yeah.
Where they got the screen in the background and it's meant to be the background of the scene, and then the people are doing something in front of it. And like that's always really noticeable now. Like when you're maybe as a kid you miss it, but
yeah, there's a scene where they're running away from it in I think it was the cafe. Actually, you could see back projected behind them, and I looked. Just the colors were just not even.
You can just you can tell when they do that. Usually you can tell because it looks like two different scenes are happening. It's not just which is exactly what's happening.
I think that what gives the movie its charm, though, meaning that you can tell it's all like it is practical effects, but it's also kind of cheesy and like campy.
Anyway, it's quite schlocky and deliberately so.
Yeah.
Like deliberately. I never got the vibe that this movie thinks it's a good movie. Like I got the vibe that it knows what it's doing from the jump. That this is like, it's like, yes, this is stupid. Yes, this is really silly, but we're all having a good time, right? Essentially.
Yeah. What year did the thing come out?
The Thing is 1984, I think.
It's like 82.
82, you're right. It's 82, yeah.
For some reason, I always associated it being like 78, like in the 70s for some reason. So I always thought this was my favorite movie of the 80s, but nope. Sorry, The Thing is just too good.
Oh, The Thing is legendary. It's absolutely legendary.
You could tell where they got a lot of their kills from, like the body morphing and the like disturbing elements of like people just getting ripped apart.
Yeah, I don't think this movie would necessarily look the way it did without John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that movie was definitely groundbreaking.
Yeah, because I feel like that's, like in my head, the genesis of this movie is someone watching The Thing and then remembering the Blob and basically try to do that again. Because The Thing was a 1950s horror movie that was remade in the 80s, and then the Blob is a 1950s horror movie that is also remade in the 80s. It just seems like when you're watching them, you can't not see the cross-pollination between the two. With all the body horror stuff, it's like a really messed up, really like realistic looking body horror.
Yeah. Well, that was also based on a book. I don't think the Blob was ever based on any books or anything.
No, I wouldn't think so. It just it makes sense. Like during the 50s, there was a lot of those kind of just like, oh no, what if ants got giants? A lot of atomic accident type horror and a lot of space related horror because those were like the new mysterious things.
One thing, it was lots of time they're experimenting a lot with cameras and figuring out perspectives.
Yes, the other movie it made me think of was The Fly.
Yeah.
Because again, another movie, like it seemed like they were kind of doing a trend in the 80s where 1950s sci-fi horror movies are being remade kind of with these new effects and new techniques and stuff. Because again, and in all three cases, I would say the 80s version is the better movie.
I agree as well. Yeah. Like they're all just wet and sticky and gross.
Yeah, and again, in all three movies, just loaded with body horror. Brady's trying not to laugh at a gun joke. There, I could just tell. It's just loaded with body horror, all three movies. And just grim, gross, nasty tone in all three movies, too. Like, not feel-good movies. Like, this is probably the feel-goodingest of the three.
Yeah, this is like people screaming run away, but like there's no real trauma in this movie. Like their friends are getting melted and they're like, okay, well, we're happy now. We're about away.
Yeah, anyway, back to flirting with this girl I just met.
Yeah. Man, that dude's fucking trunk was just amazing. He had like all the drinks. He had like a little blend, like a little mixer to mix the drinks. He had like places of strawberries. Oh my God, it was amazing. What a creep.
It's one of the most absurd things in the movie, which is saying something. I think about like a space blob, cannibalizing people. But yeah, the fact that he has like 47 different accessories in his trunk to make drinks, plus fresh fruit.
And for some reason, he doesn't have $5 to buy fucking condoms at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, like
I was just gonna ask that. Was this the same friend that Paul was trying to buy condoms for?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, it took me a second of because he looks different in the store. He's so far away.
Stupid, sexy Kevin Dillon.
Yes, very much so. Is he part of the Dillon dynasty? Do we know?
His older brother is Matt Dillon.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. I don't know what else is involved in that dynasty though.
Yes. Probably just the two of them.
Yeah, probably. I can do two movies that kind of bulk of them dead. So
yeah. Matt Dillon is potentially in future episode House of the Jackal. Have you seen that one?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if you want to be honest.
What is that?
The House the Jack Built. It's
Oh no, I have seen that, and I did love it actually.
That's a wild one. That's one of those
movies. It is incredibly bleak.
Yeah, that is one of the maybe the most hardcore horror movie I've ever seen. It's just it's one of those movies I had to keep pausing and be like,
do I want to keep doing this?
Why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah, and is this what I want my life to be?
Yeah.
Overall, a pretty decent movie. We actually covered Antichrist on the show.
Or I haven't seen that one.
That's very, very worth watching. A lot of horrible body trauma in that movie too. So yeah, I guess we need to get back to the basic plot of what's happening in this movie. So yeah, we get introduced to the cop, and I think it's weird because the cop who I thought would die first is the one who survives the entire movie, and the other cop, the sheriff, is the one who dies.
Yeah.
Where, yeah, I thought like the like annoying, because this movie, as we mentioned, has sort of a karmic, the Blob seems to serve as sort of a karmic function in this movie to a certain extent.
Until it doesn't anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So then when it starts killing, when it gets the main cop, who seems like he's going to be a key character in this movie, and then the other cop lives, but that ties back to the scene in the police station where Brian is mostly really cheesy as a badass, but when he licks the cop's face, man, that's genuinely really funny.
My fucking laughed out loud. It was so goddamn funny.
And I swear to God, it's so much funnier because the way the cop reacts, it's like he kind of liked it, man. And he doesn't know how to feel about it now. Like, I think it's like he felt something happen and something moved, and now he's like, I don't know what that was. Was that something I enjoyed? Yeah, because you can see, like, he kind of just clams up and sits down for a minute. Like, she's not like, you're fucking queer or whatever, like your typical.
You think he would just like throw a punch or something immediately?
You would think there'd be a very homophobic response with like possible gay slurs, but instead you get just like him kind of clamming up and sitting down. And I was like, I think that had an effect on him. I don't know if that was intended in the scene, but this is the kind of movie where you could do that and it would be like intentional, right?
Yeah. Towards the end, when Brian's got the M16 and aforementioned cop, I can't remember his name, is like, I will shoot, I'll put you down, scumbag.
Yeah.
But he's got like, I'm actually gonna shoot you look in his eyes, and like, I'm in love now.
Yeah, if he's gonna shoot, he's not gonna shoot his gun.
And then the two kids want to go see a horror movie, but mom doesn't let them. But then it doesn't.
See, that is actually I'm glad you brought that up because the movie theater is a big set piece in this movie, and I love that they're doing again because this movie seems to be a riffing on sort of the same thing that The Thing and The Fly are doing. It's also doing a Jason riff.
Yeah.
But I love that they gave him a hedge clippers.
Yeah.
It's very much the liability free version of with a slightly different hockey mask, and instead of a chainsaw he's got a hedge trimmer, and it's funny because again it feels very deliberate, like they're deliberately saying, because that was a very common joke that happened a lot in the 80s is you don't want to get sued, do you?
Monster Squad made the same reference in their movie where it's like, oh yeah, this is number 8 where he comes back, but he has a hedge clipper or something now, and like it's a different weapon, so it's not the same movie. And
well, those movies, like the Friday the 13th movies, were huge in the 80s. They made like 8 movies in like 6 years or something crazy.
Yeah, Halloween blew the doors off, and then after that it was just open season after Friday the 13th came out, and then it was just we've talked about this in another episode, I can't remember which one it was, but it's like then suddenly there's like 10 other holiday themed slasher movies.
It was the Texas episode.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw. Yeah,
because that was the first.
That was the second. Yeah, it's real slasher.
The second big slasher.
But yeah, first real slasher. But yes, again, Psycho only has like 2 kills in it, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Marion Crane, and then the guy who falls down the stairs. I think those in that movie. So it doesn't really feel like a slasher.
Stairs, the greatest murder of all time.
You got you in the end.
So we're in the woods. So this is where we have to introduce the scientists' characters, right? So yeah, we meet Dr. Meadows and all the other scientists in the woods at this point. And it's actually really smart because it actually seems like he's a character we could trust in the Everts media. He's got a very reassuring Morgan Freeman-esque presence to him. So it makes the turn later feel like way more meaningful. And Brian is smartly hesitant to trust him from the start, which is interesting because it seems like he's just being an asshole.
Yeah, he's just trying to be the bad boy, but
Turns out he's right, and Dr. Meadows is a creep. So yeah, so now we're setting up the government aspect of it, and that's where eventually we find out that the reason this exists, as usual, is because humans suck. So
as usual.
Essentially, they fired a piece of bacteria into space, and it was mutated by space radiation, and then crash landed back on Earth. And that's basically what's going on in this movie.
Space AIDS. I said it before.
Yeah, it's essentially space. It's the big twist of the movie. I think the big change from the original movie, because I think the original movie was an alien.
It was an alien, yes.
I was considered this movie cosmic horror, and then it's been a while, and obviously I don't think I called that anymore because it's originated on Earth.
But interestingly, that crosses over because that was such a, as we mentioned earlier, that's a very common theme of like horror and science fiction. It is men dabbling with something they shouldn't have and sort of opening this door to like all this horrible shit to happen.
Yeah. It's a mad scientist, basically opening Pandora's box.
You opened the box.
Thinking you can control it, and you never can.
You called, we came. So yeah, they essentially get forcefully abducted by these scientists, led by Dr. Meadows. So he's a scientist, and he's the one who created this thing and came up with this experiment and whatnot, it seems. And then he's got all these soldiers with him who are basically doing his bidding. And they take Brian and Meg. Brian and Meg forcefully. They say, "Oh, you're my patients," or whatever, and it's like, no,
they're quarantine.
Yeah, they're being abducted, and so that's where they separate because they're in the van, and she's like, "You're being a jerk," which was kind of what I thought too.
Yeah,
but turns out he was right, and yeah, he escapes, and man, that spy shit he's doing in the woods. God, that's funny. Him trying to run around in the woods with his motorbike.
Grabbing a motorbike and hiding behind a bush. That was the perfect size for his bush. God. Or perfect size for the motorbike.
Funny. There was a lot of I can't even tell if it's intentional or unintentional after.
I mean, the dude literally like wiped his bike out. Yeah. And he magically fixed it with a socket wrench.
Yeah, it's so schlocky. It's hilarious. But yeah, that's where he finds out the truth, basically, right? Yep. He overhears them talking about it, and that's where we find out what's really going on.
Yeah, and that's one of the scenes I really love is when they're lifting up the asteroid. It looks like an asteroid, but then as soon as you see the bottom of it, there's like made in America, and it's a satellite dish, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, because they mentioned, I think they said, I don't think it was action satellite. I think they say it hit the satellite on the way back or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. They fired the thing into space, and now they got the thing's back, and it's doing the stuff. This is the point where now everybody's sort of been gathered into the town square, and nobody knows what the hell's going on. It's just something horrible, obviously. Some people have seen the glob, and some people haven't seen it.
They're telling everyone that it's a virus. That's why everyone's being quarantined.
So, yeah, and this is the moment where Meg kind of takes the opportunity to slip away, while the dad is distracting the soldiers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and her goal is to hopefully go rescue her little brother and his friend who are out that like fake Jason movie.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So that leads us to the big set piece of the movie. Probably the cool, like arguably the coolest scene in the movie when the blob smashes through. Because that's the thing I remembered as a kid. Is when I would see this, when I watched the movie, that's the only thing that was still in my brain when I sat down to watch this the other night, was the movie. I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's a scene where the blob kills a bunch of people in the movie theater, and sure enough, it melts? Oh yeah, it's up in the projection booth.
Yeah, and it melts the projector, and then the whole kind of screen goes bright pink.
Yeah.
Super iconic scene, and then again, it starts squeezing its way through, and that's locking people up.
That was a very Looney Tunes thing they could do with like having the blob being on the screen, but you don't actually see the blob until like it starts picking people up and eating them.
Yeah,
or whatever it does.
Yeah, absorbing them into its amorphous blob mass.
We also didn't say that earlier on when Brian and Meg are in the freezer, the blob tries getting in and it touches cold and it starts shattering.
Right, that's key because that of course tells us what its weakness is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that, and later on that's kind of what they're gonna use to basically defeat it. So, but yeah, first we gotta get. So we're in the movie theater. Meg manages to rescue the boys, and they end up escaping into the sewer.
Yeah.
Yes, because they're running from the blob, right? And then like he gets stuck in the door, and then they escape into the sewer, kind of thing, right? Yeah, that's basically what's going on. Yeah, so now they're in the sewer, and we get Bill Moseley in the sewer. Did you guys recognize Bill Moseley? Horror icon Bill Moseley?
Chop Shop isn't it? I didn't rip. I didn't recognize.
He was the soldier in the sewer with them.
Oh shit! Yeah, he was.
Oh, he doesn't look like Otis, obviously, from Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
He looks like Johnny from Night of the Living Dead, like 2 years later. He's got the same look. Very similar look to how he looks in that movie.
But another movie where he's summarily killed almost as soon as he's it.
I didn't pay attention to him because I thought he was just another coffin fodder.
He was definitely fodder. That's all he was.
Yeah, Bill Moseley. So, I mean, I guess we should take a second and maybe talk about some of the horror royalty in this movie. So we got Bill Moseley, of course, of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Night of the Living Dead, and Devil's Reject, and House of a Thousand Corpses. So he's one member of horror royalty. We've got Shawnee Smith, of course, also. She's the girl from Saw. The cheerleader girl is from Saw and that franchise. I can't remember if she was involved in those Return of the Living Dead movies. Also, I can't recall, but
She might have been in the later ones, like the ones that not the original ones.
the one I was thinking of is the one sequel. Who plays the girl in that one sequel? The girl who becomes like undead and then keeps like self-mutilating herself, and
Oh, that's from number 3. No, it's
different actress.
it's a totally different actress.
Okay, that's who Shawnee Smith was reminding me of in this movie. She looks kind of like her.
Yeah. I can't remember, Catherine something or Caitlin something is the actress's name.
No big deal. But the last one we got to touch on is Frank Darabont, who co-wrote this movie with director Chuck Russell. So Frank Darabont is the guy who's known for he did Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, The Mist. I don't know what else he did, but he did the first season of The Walking Dead.
Oh no way! I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So yeah, those are the ones that I noted for sure. That I'm like, oh, as when Frank Darabont popped up, my Frank Darabont. This is before they were letting him just direct his own movies, obviously, because he wasn't doing his own directing until the 90s. But yeah, we do have some notable horror talent in this movie.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, to jump back into what's happening. So yeah, they're in the sewer, and yeah, this is where the movie gets. I mean, it's already been pretty silly, but this is where it gets very, very, very silly. We have 2 or 3 very improbable escapes. We have the improbable wall climb escape, and the kid pulling himself out of the pipe, which is sort of like a reverse It.
Yeah.
I don't know, pulling its way out instead of getting pulled in. I don't know if that was a deliberate reference, if it was just like a coincidence, but it's weird to see a kid escaping from a sewer grate instead of getting pulled into a sewer grate. Like it feels like it must have been. If it wasn't deliberate, it's a hell of a coincidence.
My way of thinking is maybe they did that because he was small enough to get through the grates, but she wasn't, so they had her stay in the sewer and then crawl up the hard way.
Yeah, and that's the second improbable escape, is her somehow climbing up a slick sewer ledge with water sluicing down onto her, and somehow she's. And Matt, do you guys have this thought whenever you see someone in the sewer and they get like when she fell from the ladder and landed? It's like, do you guys ever have the thought that they're like in shit?
No, they're definitely.
They're definitely in shit and pits. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
This is
I'm like, how do these? Like, I always wonder about that in movies. Sewers are such a common trapping, especially with movies during this period. Oh, we'll escape through the sewers or whatever, right? And it's like, but you never see anyone react to the fact that they're in like a water treatment place.
Yeah. Speaking of the remake, I think it's the first part of it. They the one character goes, "Oh, we're in gray water. Don't get in your mouth." And the one kid's like splashing it all over the place. I think Finn Wolfhard's splashing it everywhere. Yeah, like the nerdy kid's just like.
What did that one kid was super neurotic about being sick or?
Yeah, because his mom made him think he was sick.
I mean, to be fair, you have a giant amorphous blob chasing you, trying to eat you.
Yeah, but still, it's so strange because she falls from the ladder and splashes full body, like she goes all the way. She's all the way under in that, and same with the scene where it grabs the kid and she's swimming. I was like, I'm like, lady, you're not. That kid's gone. You're not getting. I know you're. What are you gonna do? It reminds me of that video, the meme video of like where the apes are fighting in the zoo, and the chick's like, "Where's the zookeeper?" And it's like, well, what are you gonna do if you swim under there and you're gonna pull him out of the blob? You've seen.
Well, she tried to pull her boyfriend out of the blob at the beginning of the movie, and all it did was rip her heart.
Yeah, I'm like, you see what this thing does to people. I don't know what you think how you think you're going to fight the blob underwater.
Yeah. Also, the cops, when they're talking to the cops, the guy's arm is still there, and the cops are like, "Oh, you guys are just making this up. Brian's a bad guy. We're just gonna blame everything on him." But the guy's arm is literally on the ground still, where the body probably is gone. Like there's a
what the hell must do was melted in the bed.
Yeah.
Oh, if it was Brian that did that.
What a 22-year-old teenager could possibly do that?
It doesn't. Definitely a classic case of the old trope where the people who are playing the teenagers, which we're probably going to be seeing in Stranger Things season 5.
100%.
A lot of 25 to 30-year-olds playing teenagers in this movie.
I mean, I haven't seen the original, but Steve McQueen, it was his first leading role in a movie, and he was 27 playing a teenager.
So that was him.
Yeah, it was Steve McQueen.
Because I saw that he was credited as Stephen McQueen.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe, because there's actually a director right now who works, he's the guy who made 12 Years a Slave and Hunger and Shame and stuff. Yeah, and he's Steve McQueen. But, so I thought, could just be another one of those cases. So it was the Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen. Awesome. Crazy.
I didn't know that. Actually, fun fact about Stephen McQueen, his son plays Dutch in Karate Kid.
More A's.
Yeah, weird 80s connections. Nepotism all around, baby. But yeah, back to what you were saying. Well, it's like the rules of the movie, which there isn't very many rules, but the rule is the blob is gonna chase you and get you. Mm-hmm. And this one, all of a sudden, the blob starts being sneaky and like stalking its prey for some reason. Like Kesley eats that rat and it just kind of hovers under Fodder.
Yeah, it doesn't really, because the blob appears to be a creature that just operates on instinct. So it doesn't make sense for it to it seems to be sort of, maybe it's adapting to the water could be the explanation. Because maybe it's never been in water before. I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense that it starts to behave very differently though. Whereas before it's absorbing out. But yeah, like you said, it seems to be sort of like, it's almost like it's trying to scare them, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's like the movie's trying to add tension, but I mean, you have a blob chasing people down the sewer.
But yeah, so that's where it gets the kid. That's where we get our key kid death. And yeah, again, they don't go easy on why
that poor kid gets it.
Yeah, like you would have thought if they were going to off-screen one kill, it would have been him, but nope, he burst out of the water, melting into the blob. It's suitably gruesome. And then yeah, she escapes with the help of Brian. Yeah.
Sorry, that kid pissed me off throughout the movie because they're in the movie theater watching a horror movie. He's got headphones on, listening to music.
Well, that's funny. They're giving the guy, again, that's another karma kill. The guy talking through the movie gets off by the blob first.
Yeah.
And yeah, the same kid who's basically giving him shit about not ruining the movie is like sitting there with headphones on. So
screw that kid.
Yes, mind your own business.
Yeah. And they're the same. Isn't he the same loser who gets stuck in the door too?
Yeah. How do you get your zipper stuck in a door?
No, that was Meg's brother.
Oh, that was their
brother. See, early on, his mom's zipping up the jacket, and the zipper's not working. She says, "I'll fix that later."
Foreboding,
foreshadowing the zipper stuck.
Yeah.
Wow. And the blob's in the way. He does that really cool loop.
It's so
like
stupid.
A super bad boy movie.
It is so stupid. Anyway, the huge LOLs watching this guy try and drive his motorbike through the fucking sewer. I'm like, this is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. You would just wipe out instantly.
Well, yeah, the blob would just go, ugh, blah, gotcha.
Yeah, you would. Well, even just trying, even with no blob in this equation, trying to drive a motorcycle in the sewer would be like one of the worst ideas ever. You would just catch on moss and shit and wipe out.
Well, and in the end, all it did was get them to the other side of the blob, but then they were still stuck. Probably more stuck.
And that's where they meet up with Bill Moseley's sort of doomed scientist character, who luckily happens to have a grenade launcher, though, at the very end.
Foxy da.
So,
Man, it doesn't go the way you're gonna think it's gonna go with the rocket launcher.
It was a rocket launcher?
Yeah, it was a shot launcher. Yeah.
but it was, I just thought because it was handheld, like it wasn't like a bazooka.
No, it was a tube.
Yeah, it was a longer too. It was shorter, I think. But it's definitely a rocket launcher.
No, I thought it was a grenade launcher.
Okay, may for
It makes things go boom.
I do like the fact that he does the scientist guy, Dr. Meadows, does such an elaborate way to trap them by having the truck drive on top of the thing. And it's like, someone probably could have just stood on there.
Yeah. I mean, it works.
That probably would have been enough.
What a dick move. But
Yeah. Well, but it gives it an extra impact when he fires. But that definitely would have killed them.
it would have killed everybody.
him talking on the radio to Meadows too was like the funniest part. Is like, I'm coming up there, motherfucker, and just blows up the fucking thing, and everyone goes flying.
Yeah, it's a good scene, good effect. And now everybody's kind of in the same situation. This is where the blob escape from the sewer quickly, and then the blob is chasing them out of the sewer.
Yeah. We get the rest of the townspeople going to the church, I believe. Now,
Church or City Hall? It might have been City Hall.
it might have been, but
It's all the same. They all gather and
They gather inside, and lock the doors because that's gonna make a difference.
Yeah. And then and this is the scene where where it gets the scientist, right? Like
I guess the scientist like on the street.
Yeah, grabs him and drags him down. And then the guy who was kind of his next subordinate is happy to sort of just have control again over his own men. And he says, "Frag the son of a bitch."
Which is the funniest scene in the entire movie.
shooting guns at the
Like 12 people shooting into the sewer. I don't think it's a real grenade down there too.
Well, at least the grenade could have maybe done something. Like, what do you think? Like, can you guys even see what you're shooting at?
Yeah,
It looks like you're just it looks like just 12 guys firing handguns into the sewer and
glad them up, boys.
yeah.
Oh no, they do throw a frag down or a grenade down there, and then the blob gets pissed off, but then he pulls the two pins on his vest, which has grenades.
Which doesn't do anything else, though.
But also that adds to what Meg does later with the she finds the satchel that has the pin in it, and with the snow truck.
Right. But you know what that reminds me so much of is a really funny, stupid moment in another sci-fi-ish, horror-ish movie, Kong Skull Island, where the Shea Wiggum character tries to valiantly sacrifice himself to kill the monster, and then the monster just slaps him and he explodes off in the distance. Perfect. That's exactly what this reminded me of. It's just like, he's like, I'm going to take you with me. And it's like, nah, it didn't do it. It literally didn't do anything. Yeah, no effect.
We didn't preface that in the beginning when Brian's bike breaks down, he goes to the garage and gets Ratchet, but also the guy's working on snow machines, even though it doesn't snow in the town they're from. He goes, it's gonna snow one day, and Brian steals the snow projector.
I don't really know.
What do you call it?
Something, some sort of machine that makes...
Fake snow machine.
Yeah, fake...
Just snowplow / snowmaker.
Yeah, so he was Mr. Plow.
Speaking of shooting away stuff out of something, I'm gonna see how many of these we can squeeze it. Like Blob. Anyway.
But you squeeze too many and you're the blind.
Your next movie better be the stuff because it's all nothing but white goo. Yeah. It's right up your alley, dude.
Goo City.
Just goo, and it's delicious.
A little salty for my liking.
That's literally how the stuff starts. They bubbling like crap. He case it, and they're like, "Oh, it's delicious," and then he starts selling it.
What's going on in the Blob? Okay, so the Blob just got Dr. Meadows, and yeah, so basically we're at the finale of the movie now.
Yeah. Basically, everyone's kind of inside the city hall or the church, trying to hide out, and the military is taking control.
And the Blob is getting increasingly huge to the point where it could almost overwhelm the entire town. And that's when Brian grabs the he grabs the truck, right? Meg's the one who blows it. But
Yeah.
he's the one who drives the
drives the truck. Drives and crashes it into the blob. Yeah.
And then she's the one who actually blows it, which seems to have killed the blob.
Yeah. Basically.
Or at the very least, incapacitated it.
Yeah. Well, because it's cold, but also I guess heat with cold probably affects. I don't know if they say heat hurts it, but also one of the scientists have a flamethrower, and you don't see it hurt the blob, but it kind of pushes it back.
Hits it away at least. Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned basically the idea is, so he drives the truck up and flips it, and then he's in the truck, incapacitated, and then she has to climb up and do the thing to set it up. She uses a grenade or a gun?
She uses the satchel as explosive. So
Great, it's like C4.
yeah.
So she's shooting at that's why I couldn't remember. She's shooting at it to get its attention to stop it from killing Brian, but then she blows the truck with the C4.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, R.I.P. the blob, presumably. Or it's in a coma and they stick it in a freezer or fire or whatever. Because that's what they say. Like, we better get this out of here before it starts to melt. Come back to life or whatever. Yeah. So, stick it into a government freezer with a background source of power, I guess. Because otherwise you have a power outage and the blob's just like, hey, it's me, the blob.
What killed the blob? The Ice Age.
Why?
Just the last second irony appearing.
You know what I was thinking of earlier today when I was thinking about us doing this episode was the revolting blob from Billy Madison.
Oh, yeah. He was supposed to pitch me when he was running out of air.
Mr. Anderson,
You know,
you okay?
yeah, I was like, oh, there's a lot of people running out of air in this movie.
Oh boy. But yeah, anyway, that's essentially the end of the movie. And then I think the movie would be better without the stinger. I don't think we need the stinger with the priest.
You see him like when he's going through the cafe, diner, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and he picks up the crystal shards from the blob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps them.
I don't think we need the stinger scene. I think the preacher should have been a kill. A funny kill at some point.
His
in the movie.
face gets messed up, but it's not even a funny mess up. It's just like, oh no, he got hurt from a flamethrower from another person. He didn't get hurt by the blob.
He goes from like a preacher to like a weird Indiana Jones villain.
Yeah, he does. He does look like he does look like an Indiana Jones villain. It's just it doesn't like I feel like it's not like I feel like the studio maybe put him up to that or something.
Well, I think they clearly set up for a sequel. They showed a bit at the beginning, bit at the end, but there just wasn't enough to make it worth it, I thought.
Well, it probably didn't make enough money. Is probably what it is. Because usually that's the case. Like they'll find a way, especially back then during that time period. How it was like Michael Myers is a person. Now he's just a thing that comes back from the dead. Same with Jason. It's like Jason was a actual killer guy, and now he just comes back from the dead every once in a while, and nobody really knows how any of it.
Whatever makes sense when he comes back.
The first movie isn't even Jason. It's his mom.
It's the mom, yeah.
Yeah, and I like the fourth one's not even Jason too. It's just a random guy copycat killing.
I thought that was the sixth one. It's semantics one way or the other. But yeah, there's definitely one movie where it's just like an EMS guy or something was the killer all along, which he was just like wearing the Jason mask.
There's only 2 Friday the 13th movies we're doing. It's Manhattan and Jason X, which is one of my picks.
David Cronenberg getting killed in that movie.
It sure does. Wait, was he the creepy professor in that one?
Yeah, he's like the weird scientist guy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's David
I
Cronenberg.
gotta watch this. Yeah.
The best part of that movie is if you had the DVD, you can click the kill mode. So instead of watching the whole movie, it'll just show you all the kills. It's like, hell yeah, that's all I need to see.
That's something every movie should have, man.
Wait, you don't want to see the android strip and have sex with the guy that built her?
I mean, it sounds weird, but no, not really.
Well, we had different childhoods then.
Anyway, that's basically the end of the blob. We get like sort of a stinger that we didn't need, but that's basically the end of the blob. And I'm gonna go. Brady, do you have anything final you want to add to this blob other conversation?
Just blobtastic jizzfest.
Yes.
To say, I like this movie. It's really fun.
It's a lot of fun. I agree.
It's like it reminds me of a Goosebumps episode.
It is,
but from the 80s. Like it's that one thing. It's a one-off. You don't need a sequel. You don't need a prequel. and it's fun on its own. It's a fun watch, and I'm glad Travis picked it.
I'll tell you what, if this was a Goosebumps episode, holy fuck.
Man, there'd be some more messed up kids out there.
Different show. Shit. All right. As for myself, I enjoy this movie. I'm glad I got the chance to come back to it after all these years. I think it's one of those right down the middle ones for me. It's like there's a lot of cheese here, a lot of that classic 80s cheese, but the creature effects and the fact that the movie seems to be in on the joke about all the cheese at the very least makes it work to a certain extent. As I was sort of saying about Twin Peaks before, like Twin Peaks is something that's very much in on. Yes, this is corny soap opera, but that's what we're doing on purpose.
Yes.
And that feels like what this movie is doing. Like it's in on the joke at the very least.
It's like X-Files, Twin Peaks, but also a little more cheesier than both.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Anyway, so yeah, I like it. I liked it. It's a right down the middle movie. I'm glad I got the chance to actually. I don't know if I've ever seen the movie in its entirety, to be honest. I think it was one of those movies I just caught bits and pieces of on TV all the time.
It's definitely something that always shows up on YouTube. Just the random like creature kills and the
because I would love just a 5-minute or 8-minute supercut of all the kills in this movie because the kills are real on him.
If you just see the kills, like you wouldn't even know it's from the same movie. Like the story is great. Don't get me wrong. But if you just seen the kills and you didn't know what it was from, you'd be like, what movie did this in the 80s? Because you didn't see a lot other than like The Thing or Dead Alive, Brain Dead. Mm-hmm. Like there was only a couple big movies that actually had crazy practical effect kills like that.
Yeah, this is a wild practical. There are some really wild practical. I would like to look into how they actually did this. I wish I thought to do that before we started recording, but oh well. That's a problem for another day.
I was too engrossed with the movie to even look up anything from the movie. Like I was gonna like have a segment about shit from the original movie to this movie, but like I was too infatuated with anything to talk about. Yeah, it's just a fun movie. Yeah, I'm glad I got to rewatch it.
Me too, big time. Me too, because like I said, I'm not even sure if I'd actually seen the entire thing until now. Travis Mushanski, what do we got, man? Any final thoughts from the movie?
Man, I just love this movie so much. This is one of those movies I could just have in the background, especially when my kids aren't around. But I just love it. It's super fast. It's not terribly long. It doesn't take itself serious. The creature effects are amazing. The gore is amazing. I guess to answer the question you didn't ask was it definitely flopped, and I think for that reason, it didn't get a sequel, and I think that's for the best because I don't think it needs a sequel. Doesn't need.
Yeah, that was my guess. I forgot to look it up, but that was my guess is that this movie didn't earn enough money because they're clearly trying to set up a sequel at the end, but there never was a sequel. So
it's interesting because the original one got terrible reviews, but it made a ton of money. This one got good reviews and it made no money.
That's interesting. Yeah, that is weird, and that's a thing. Again, that's a weird. There's like a lot of weird things with horror and sci-fi where you get these movies that are really. We've done a lot of these kind of movies. We did Sunshine. We've done like sort of these horror / sci-fi bombs that are fucking great movies. Yeah. We've done a lot of these kinds of movies. And again, too bad Kyle's not here because I think he's the one that had it. Most of the time when we talk about those, it's Kyle. Kyle's the one who picks them. But anyway, yeah. Overall, I'm glad I watched it, and I think it has some great fucking kills in it. But at the very least, like it or don't like it, it has some fucking great.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I'd say if you don't feel like watching the film, just find a compilation of the kills.
You just get a supercut of them kills. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're so creative, so inventive, and then they're all practical.
And you've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen kills like that.
Yeah.
In any other movie. Like, I've seen other body horror kills. I've seen other slasher kills. You've seen, like, how many horror movies have you seen? Hundreds. Potentially thousands.
They already invented the wheel with some of the kills they did. Because I don't recall ever seeing anything like it either.
Yeah, it looks like what it would be like to be killed by a piece of gum or something. Like, it's the weirdest thing, but it's so unsettling.
Not to quote the Ripping Friends, but the Incredible Wad. Well, only 90s kids are going to get that reference.
Oh, well, speaking of WODs, we got another episode coming up next week. And it was actually the episode that was supposed to be this week. It's our friend Mr. Crumblebar, as we mentioned a couple times, couldn't be here today. So I can't really bounce it to him to tell us, but it's 30 days.
Hey, Kyle, what's your pick?
We got, anyway, as we set up in the Ravenous episode, we're still doing 30 Days of Night for the next episode. But until then, we will see you in 7 days. And until then,
Keep your eyes open.
and we're out. Hey, we did it.